Welcome back to another episode of Command the Courtroom. Today, I have a wonderful guest for you who has a book coming out pretty soon. Her name is Christy Whitman, and her newest book, The Desire Factor, is coming out April 21st. Christy is a best-selling author. She is the channel for the Council Spiritual Mentors here to spread the message of quantum energy mastery. Christy and the council teach classes, meditations, and provide private sessions to help clients feel more aligned with their divine design of well-being, abundance, success, and loving and supportive relationships, something we all could use more of. For over 15 years and before channeling the council, Christy was a transformational leader, celebrity coach, and law of attraction expert, as well as the two-time New York best-selling author of The Art of Having It All and Taming Your Alpha Bitch. Christy has appeared on the news, the Today Show, the Morning Show, TEDx, and the Hallmark Channel, and her work has been featured in the media in various publications. She's been featured in Goalcast, People Magazine, 17, Woman's Day, Hollywood Life, and Teen Vogue, to name a few. I'm so excited to introduce Christy Whitman. Thanks for joining me today, Christy.
Thank you, Wendy. I'm so excited that we're having this conversation.
Oh, thank you. I'm so appreciative that you were willing to come on the show. And we were talking offline about my viewers. And so most of my viewers are people who are going through some sort of family law case. And, they may or may not characterize it as drama, but I can tell you that during a lot of the live streams that I hold every week, people are really caught up in the chaos and drama that they're experiencing.
Yeah.
And I feel like with a lot of, I have clients who come back to me 2, 3, sometimes 4 times with the same issues happening over and over. So, I thought that would be a good place to start. And I'm wondering what your thoughts are for somebody who's stuck in this chaos and drama about whether it's possible to get out and what needs to be done to get out and not be stuck in it for 18 years.
Yeah, so it is possible. It takes some work, honestly, because most of us we're reared, we're trained, programmed to be in the drama triangle, which the drama triangle is all about drama and chaos. And inside the drama triangle, it's really that there are only 3 roles that you can play. There's the victim. So someone's, and you think about it, it's like our Broadway plays, our Hollywood, even the stories that we read in books. They've got the person that's the victim, right? Mm-hmm. They've got the hero, they've got the rescuer, and yes. Then they've got the bad guy, they've got the persecutor. And so in our stories, even in our family units and when going through divorce and even just in relationships, whether we're going through divorce or not, there's always someone that plays the poor me, this is happening to me. And when we're doing that, when we're coming from this victim mentality that this person is doing something to me or things are happening to me, we don't have any power to change it. If we truly feel that we are powerless, we are. And that's something important to know. But I am powerless. This person's doing this. When you think that way and when you're coming from that perspective, you have absolutely no way of changing it. But when you start to understand that the way out of the drama triangle is looking that all of us, each and every one of us, have been given free will and choice. And what we have free will and choice with is how we think, what we say, what we feel, how we perceive something, and how we act. These are the only things that we can really control in our world. We can't control somebody else's consciousness, right? We can't.
Totally.
We can't control what the other person's going to say or do or think or feel. And so when we understand that we control that for ourselves and that none of us is a victim, although we might perceive ourselves as this person is doing something, it's always up to us to put up a boundary and say, no, I'm not willing to put up with this. I'm not willing to do this. It sounds funny, but my 12-year-old son, he's going to be 12 soon, said to me last night, Mom, there's like a bake sale on Friday and you need to make me 3 batches of brownies. And I looked at him and I go, I'm sorry, I need to do what? I go, it might be a better approach if you ask me, because then I'd be more than willing to do that. But for him to just lay it on me and go, you need to, you must. It's like, no, I don't. I'm not a victim here. I don't have it. I'm not told what to do. I'm not your personal slave. It's like, don't just command and demand that I do something. And so that's me putting up my boundary, because it would be real easy for me to go, oh, okay. And then go and get brownie mix and, and feel resentful and feel like I've got to do this now and that I don't have a choice. No, I have a choice. I could say no. Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let me ask you this, because I'm sure that some of the viewers that are watching this or will watch this have questions about, well, what if they're in a position where they have, been abused either emotionally, financially, or physically, and there are physical manifestations of this abuse, and they feel like, hey, like, certainly I would not have chosen for my ex to beat the crap out of me.
Right.
Um, I don't want to lose people, and I'm wondering if you can speak to that situation, because I know I've heard talk about blaming the victim, and I don't think that's what you're doing, but I'm wondering if you can expound on that a little bit.
No, it's not blaming the victim at all, but it's understanding that what I teach, what I understand, how I lived my life, how my life changed 25 years ago was coming out of a victim mentality and understanding that I create my own reality. Now, someone on the other side, but like you're saying, what? I didn't ask to be abused. I didn't ask to be stolen from. I didn't ask to be, to have this accident or this debt or this divorce. I didn't ask for that. No, you don't do it deliberately. Obviously, it's the part of us that's unconscious and is attracting that.
Okay.
And what's important to understand is a lot of times when someone understands that, coming from the premise, which is a true spiritual truth, that we all create our own reality. If we believe that we are being affected, right, that it's not our fault and that we don't have any responsibility in it, and that it's coming, someone's doing it to us, or whether it's the government or the virus or anything else, like this is happening to me, then we are a victim. And there's no way we can change. And the first thing we have to do to affect change so that we don't keep creating this, because if you get out of this divorce and get in another relationship and you still have this victim mentality, you are going to attract someone that has more of a rescuing, persecuting way where you're in the role of a victim.
Got it. That makes sense.
So your best thinking, your previous thinking, a lot of times it's our unconscious imprints that we're not even aware of, bring us to this situation. Mm-hmm. And now it's an opportunity to go, okay, do I want to continue to live my life like this? Or do I want to change? And if you say with your free will and choice, I'm going to stay like this. This is what I know. This is what's real. This is what I believe. Then all the power to you. But you have the opportunity to change and to feel better and to live a life that you absolutely love, regardless of what your past has been. And really being able to understand that it's going to take you shifting your consciousness to be able to attract a different partner, a different financial situation, different boundaries, more empowerment. It takes shifting the perspective. And
yes,
and just so everybody knows, it's not like was born with a silver spoon and, my life is all sunshine and rainbows. I mean, I've been through a lot of tragic things in my life. I had my sister who committed suicide 25 years ago. I've been through a divorce. And I've been through a divorce where I was still living in the same house and where the guy had a lot of anger at me. Mm-hmm. And, I had to continue to remain in the place of, this is what I want. I want to be out of this marriage. I want to move ahead. And even though he would try to throw anger at me and do some pretty despicable things, I focused on forgiving him, letting go, and moving forward. And had I not done that, had I not let go of the relationship and all the resentments and the hurts and all that, I wouldn't be in the wonderful relationship I've been in for the past 15 years with my husband.
Oh, wow.
So, I've had things like major debt. I've had my 2-month-old baby rush to the hospital, have open heart surgery, and almost lost him. I mean,
oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, these are tragic-y, type of things, right?
Yeah.
And I've lost a job. I mean, I've had these kind of situations, but what I do know is that having this perspective that's on abundance rather than lack, being in empowerment rather than playing a victim, it literally helped me choose what do I want my life to be. So when you are noticing that you're in this drama triangle, when you are playing the victim, ask yourself, what do you want? Just literally shift your focus on, okay, I don't want this anymore. You're clear about that. You don't have to stay stuck in the problem. What do you want? Why do you want it? So what do you want? Why do you want it? And how do you ultimately want to feel? Because this is a vibrational universe, and we attract by the vibration that we give out. It's like we are physical, but we're also non-physical. And if we are receiving in energy all the time, if we're receiving in negative energy, if we're told that we're no good, if we're, told there's like abuse verbally, mentally, we pick up on that energy and it imprints in us. But that's not who you are. It's not the truth. The divine who's breathing you loves you and adores you. And we have an ability to connect with that higher energy than the energy that was given to us. And so when we start to shift that consciousness, then we start to feel better.
So thank you. That's fabulous. Shifting consciousness feels like a tall order to some people. So can you help break it down? For the person who's like on the verge of suicide, they're thinking, how do I do that? Like, it's not a bam thing. Like, what are the tools? What are some steps you can give people to help them to begin to do that, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you think of consciousness, it feels like a really big thing, right? Consciousness is really broken down in what we say, right? Mm-hmm. What we think, what we perceive, what we feel, and the actions that we take. Those are the 5 aspects of our consciousness. Anything outside of that, we can't control anybody else's consciousness. We can't control what other people say or do. We can control our own. Mm-hmm. And in that, when you first start with your words, right? People always ask me, how do we start? Where do we go? It's like, you have to watch your words. Your words have creative power. It even says in the Bible, in the beginning, there was the word. Your words are like wands. And when you start saying things like, I can't handle this anymore, that's coming from a mentality that is lack, that is victim. And when you're saying, I can't handle this anymore, it's very it's very powerless type of energy, right? It's the words that you are saying then create a windfall. It creates momentum towards what you think, how you feel, all that. So instead of saying, I can't handle this anymore, it's not that you can't handle it. It's that you choose not to. Mm-hmm. I choose not to be in this relationship anymore. I choose not to be a punching bag anymore. I choose not to be as a victim anymore. I choose to live my life happy. I choose to be happy. I choose to be free. I choose to be whatever it is that you desire. But when we say, I just can't handle this anymore. Do you feel the difference? It's like
totally. I was just thinking as you were speaking, oh my God, like, the words that you were saying in the second part feel so much better to me. They're uplifting, like they're empowering. I feel better, bigger, stronger. Yeah.
And so I created a whole entire video program that's free, and I'll give you links so you can give it to your viewers. It's called watchyourwords.com. And what it is, it's a 30-day video program. You get a video every day that's like 2 to 4 minutes. It tells you the word or phrase that you absolutely want to eliminate from your vocabulary, why, and then what to say instead. So just that exact example,
awesome.
Instead of saying, I just can't deal with this anymore, saying, I choose to be free. I choose to live life differently.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you for that gift.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the other thing, a really great process to do too, is when you notice yourself focused in your mind, in your attitude, in your perspective on lack, meaning if you look at it as a spectrum, that's one of the laws I talk about, is the law of sufficiency and abundance. Mm-hmm. On one side of the spectrum is lack, and lack always feels bad. Right? That's where all the negative emotions, fear, worry, doubt, frustration, agitation, all of those, those emotions are coming from the energy from a perspective of lack. On the other side of the spectrum is abundance. And that's where all the feel-good emotions feel, like happy, joyful, successful, prosperous, whatever it is, passion. These are where the good feeling emotions are. In the middle, there's like a tipping point, right? So to get to that tipping point so that you're in the middle and moving out of lack and into abundance is sufficiency. And so when you can look for what are the positive aspects, sometimes when you're in deep despair, when you're really you really need to come out of it, just saying, oh, okay, what do I have right now? What could I be grateful for? What are the positive aspects of my life? Just going, I'm alive.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That person that was abusing me, they could have killed me. Okay, I'm breathing. I'm alive.
Yes,
Right?
exactly. Yes.
Well, the person that stole all the money from me, they didn't take my ability, my skill, my wherewithal, my history of my work history. I still have the ability to make money. I can go get a job. Right?
Yes. Yes.
So looking for what you do have rather than what you don't have will start moving you into creating momentum into abundance place. Sometimes it's just like, you know what? I've got to, even if it's a shelter, I've got a place to rest my head tonight.
Yes.
I got,
Yes.
I got an apartment, I got a condo, I've got a place that I can sleep. I could be away from the elements. I could put the heat on. I could put the air on. We're both in Arizona, right?
Yes. Right.
In the summertime, it's like, oh, I have air conditioning, right? Sometimes like that's just enough, right? I've got a car to sleep in. I got a car that's got air conditioning. Whatever you can find that you can find gratitude in, that gets you out of the poor me victim. Life sucks. Life's hard. Things are happening against me. And getting into that place of, you know what? Because we can all look for things to complain about in any situation. You can have multi-millionaires, been married for a really long time, have a good relationship, have a great career, great family. They got everything going for them. If they complain, they're not going to feel good.
Right. That's right.
Right. And then you
Yes.
could have people. I remember I was in Mexico and I was driving down the road and there was this woman that was in the back of this beat up truck with a bunch of other men. She was the only woman in the back of this truck, and it looked like they were doing gardening because there was like long palm trees. And she had this just energy of joy about her. And I said to the girl I was with, I go, I've never seen someone more joyful. And this clearly wasn't a person that had a lot of anything,
Right.
but she had joy. So in any situation, you can find things to be grateful for and find joy and connect with joy, or find things to complain about and feel bad and sorry for yourself. It's our
Yes.
choice.
That's right. I agree 100%. So, okay, so I have a couple of questions. First of all, to give people some perspective, is it possible to be happy all the time? Like, say you get to that point, where you're thinking more better thoughts than bad thoughts, if that makes sense. Are you still going to have bad days?
Here's the difference. For me, I don't have bad days anymore. I might have a bad moment. I might have something that irritates me or something that happens where I get angry about something, but because I know how to process my anger, I don't let it ruin my day.
Got it.
So there might be a moment of contrast. There might be something that happens. I remember I was walking out of, if you know AJ's, right? I was walking out of AJ's getting a tea, and I was coming into my car, and this woman with a very aggressive, it was like this bright yellow Camaro comes, comes parking right next to me. And I must have looked shocked because I was shocked. I was scared. I thought I was going to get run over. And she got out of her car without even parking it, screaming and yelling at profanities at me. What the hell is your problem? What are you looking at? And I was like, I don't have a problem.
Oh my
right.
gosh.
So I got in my car and I was like, what the heck was that? Right. Yeah. And it's like, that could have had the potential to ruin my day.
Right.
But I just let myself feel the, hey, I'm a human. And in that human moment, that did not feel good. So instead of judging her, making her wrong, or, all those other things, I let myself just feel compassion for that moment, because that was like a amygdala hijack. I was like, what?
Right.
I just allowed myself to be in a space of connection with myself and to feel what I was feeling and to feel compassion for that. And once I did, I was able to then feel compassion for her, because clearly she was not having a good day.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So thank you for that. Okay. So another question. So you were talking about early on about identifying what it is that you want in your life, from what you don't want. And then, so can you talk about, is there another piece of that related to emotions and how, manifestation happens? Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
Yes. So emotions are such a big thing. And I had been practicing working with universal laws for many, many years. And I would do affirmations and I would think positive and,
Mhm.
really work on my mindset and that sort of thing. But what I didn't realize is that underneath it all, I was angry. I had a set point of anger. And that was like my go to emotion. If I was going to feel something, I would feel anger. And so anger or emotions are a stronger signal that goes out into the universe. Let's just to talk about law of attraction for a second. Everything in this universe is energy. We know this by science, modern science, so quantum physics. At the basis of anything, whether it's a cell phone, a human being, a desk, is energy.
Mhm.
And so all energy carries a vibration. It's communication that goes out into the universe. And like frequencies are attracted. So if we are thinking in lack, if we're in fear or anger, that frequency, that energy is going out into the universe and we're going to get more things to get angry about.
Yes.
Right. But if
Yes.
we're thinking positive thoughts and we're thinking optimistically and we're thinking about things that we enjoy and that we appreciate and we love, those are also thoughts that go out into the universe. And there's more things that are going to be attracted to us that we love and appreciate. Right. So it's what we send out. And that's what's really important to understand. If I'm thinking positive, right, but I'm seething in anger
Mhm.
and I'm holding on to resentments or I'm holding on to hurts, that also is a frequency that goes out into the universe and we get more things that come back and hurt us and are resentful for. So as anybody is going through any type of, dissolution of a marriage or a relationship, it's really to feel and process your emotions and to let go of anything that you're holding on energetically that's hurts and resentments. And it's a feeling of like, why I can't release that, because then what if I forgive that person, they do it again? You're wise. You're not going to forget that. You're not going to forgive them and allow them back in your life and all that. But what you're doing, it's not about them. It's not about forgiving them. It's about forgiving you forgive the energy inside of you. You let go of it so it doesn't continue to affect you. Because hurts and resentments that are built up in our emotions, they're like snakes and scorpions. We know that in Arizona, right? They're
Yeah,
going to bite you every time.
that's
And
right.
we don't want that. So
Mhm.
exterminate it, right? It's like let go of that stuff by literally surrendering that over those hurts, those resentments. And when you let go of those, you also stop playing a victim.
Got it. Okay. So thank you for that clarification. And just so I understand a little better, so although somebody may be doing positive affirmations, if they haven't let go of those hurts and resentments, like does it cancel out the affirmations, or how do they interplay, if that makes
Yeah.
sense?
So here's the thing. Thinking, if you have an affirmation like I am abundant,
Mhm.
right? That's better than thinking I'm in trouble. I'm in lack. Oh my God, I'm freaking out. Right. So it's a better feeling thought. Right. But what people don't understand is that they go for the mindset and try to change and do affirmations, which the mind and the emotions affect each other. But
Yeah.
it's really the emotions that affect the mind more than the mind affects the emotions. So if you focus on the emotions and let go of the energy, and that's what all my work is helping people literally go into their belly, be present with the emotion, let it go. So it becomes a 90-second process instead of
Wow.
a 20-year process,
Got it. Okay.
right?
Yes, that
So
makes
it's
sense.
it's letting that go, because once you let go of the resentment and you bring in the feeling of freedom or joy or abundance, or want to feel how we're naturally designed to feel, well, then naturally you think joyful thoughts, you think abundant thoughts. But we're
Yes.
trying to go back, out at the back way, right? Trying to think all these positive thoughts when you still got this churning of anger or resentment. If you just let go of the resentment, now your thoughts naturally become more open and more positive.
That's amazing. I mean, and that's encouraging, I think, to know that it can take as little as 90 seconds to affect this emotional change.
Yeah. I worked with a client that went to therapy for 8 years consistently for three times a week, and did didn't do much. She worked with myself and the counsel for 20 minutes and it released, because it was literally about the energy. Everything is energy. And when you understand how to master your own energy, if you're having negative thoughts, it's tied to a negative emotion. And if you
Mm,
could process out that negative emotion, the thoughts become more positive. If you
yeah.
have an imprint, if you have something that you've just gone through that's been a trauma, or what I like to call an imprint of something that's negative, whether it's physical abuse, mental abuse, sexual abuse, any type of, just someone says something, does something, you get portrayed, your partner cheats on you, whatever it is. When we are moving along and we close down around that imprint or that trauma, there's stuck energy. And
Mhm.
that energy creates a vortex, because energy just can't chill out. It's like it's very fast and it moves. And so then it attracts from that point. And it
Mhm.
stays lodged in us until we actually go in and release it. And it's actually very easy to go in, process, open up our heart, let it move out, so that we can be back in the flow of feel good emotions.
That's awesome. And then so when somebody gets back in the flow of these feel good emotions, what is possible for them?
Well, you're back into your divine design, well being. A lot of times people don't understand that there's a huge tie between whether you have pains, illnesses, dysfunction in your body because of the energy that you're holding on to. You release that energy, your body naturally goes back into well being. You're back in perfect health. Loving and supportive relationships, people you attract that actually love and support you and show that they're there for you and that they're considerate and that respectful.
Yeah.
Financially,
Mhm.
if you're blocking your flow of divine light, you're blocking your flow of abundance and even success. I mean, really everything. When you come back into alignment, all the things that we are divinely designed for come back into alignment.
Oh, I mean, that's amazing to hear. And I know a lot of the viewers need to hear this and think about it a little bit more. So, can you talk to us a little bit about your book, The Desire Factor, and
Yeah,
what it's about and when we can get it and how we can get it and gifts that you have as of the date of this show, which is March 9th.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So my book is called The Desire Factor. I'm
Yay.
so
Wonderful.
excited, super excited. So it's really about, you know, understanding to give ourselves permission for the desires that we have, especially as someone's moving out of contrast, something that isn't what they wanted. It was a bad situation. Now it's your opportunity to focus on what you want and give yourself permission to do that. A lot of times people will have a desire for a better life, but then they talk themselves out of it. Well, it can't be that. I don't know how to do that. I'm not worthy of that. And then they talk themselves out of it and they close down that desire. And desires are the birthplace of everything. If you have a desire, there's a deeper part of you that's wanting more for you than you even want for yourself. And it shows itself through desires that we have. And so
Mhm.
it's really a step by step process of attaining our desires. It's like a combination lock, right? Each step goes in front of the other. If you
Yeah.
have like 2, 24, 36, and you go 36, 2, that lock is not opening,
Yes. Right.
right? So doing it in the exact order. And the first principle that I talk about is the principle of alignment. And that's what we've been talking about this whole time, Wendy, is finding that alignment with what you do want, how you do want to feel, what you do want to experience, and know that you have the power to create it. And so I'm really excited about this book because it's going to help a lot of people really understand how to become more powerful in their lives, how to become deliberate creators, conscious creators, how to literally take their own consciousness and move it in the direction, on the focused direction of where they do want to go. So you can go to thedesirefactor.com to pre-order it. And when you do, you get 3 processes and meditations right away that will help you get feeling good, help you start shifting the momentum from what you don't want to what you do want. And also, when the book does come out in May, we're going to have 4 live coaching sessions, and you get access to that. And so it's like a $900 value for a $15 book.
Oh, that's amazing. Like can't beat that, I
Yeah.
think. So I'm gonna pre-order for sure.
Thank you.
So I am so excited to read this book and learn more from you, Christy. And one other thing, there was a free um, course or month-long thing you were talking about with
Yes.
the words. Can you give us a site for that? And we'll post it in the show notes.
Yes, it's watch your words, plural, watchyourwords.com.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Christy. Well, this has been lovely having you.
Thank you.
And I know your book is going to be very successful. It sounds like you have another bestseller on your hands.
Yes.
So, congratulations
Thank you.
and thank you again.
Thank you so much, Wendy, for all you do.
You're welcome. And so, for all you out there watching, until next time, remember to keep on trucking and get out there and command the courtroom. And I'll see you again. Bye.